Hey everybody, welcome to the Weseloh and Stevo Show. You can check us out on Instagram and YouTube at the Weseloh and Stevo Show. You can also email us at theweslohstevoshow@gmail.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy the podcast.
Rivers, Philip, if you're listening to this, grab the clipboard. Grab it as fast as you can. I love you, but it's time.
No matter what happens, he's not going to get fired. He's got enough Super Bowls, and he can do whatever he wants.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's coming from Belichick? Do you think it's coming from Kraft?
Shouldn't happen in the NBA.
Daily. Like, it's not even tanking season yet.
No.
You know, it's like, how are you losing by 40 points? What's up, guys? Welcome back for a brand new edition of the Weseloh and Stevo Show. Episode 3. Let's get going.
The Weseloh and Stevo Show is brought to you by State Farm. Just say when. And also by Stray Goose. Too drunk to talk? Stay with the flock.
All right, let's talk some NBA. Brett, what you got for me today?
We got to talk about the Knicks. I think that's always a very fun topic for everyone outside of New York. They seem to be, as usual, the laughingstock of the NBA. So we'll get to Zion in a little bit, too. I want to get some of that in there, his long-term future, what we think about Zion. But right now, let's talk about the Knickerbockers. As usual, they are a disappointment.
They stink.
They suck.
They stink.
You know, it's just they can't get out of their own way. And as in most cases, it starts at the top, right?
You think it starts with Dolan?
Oh,
duh.
Man. Dolan wants to just play music with his band and lose games. He does not care how the team does, is what it seems like.
Like firing Fizdale was meaningless. Has nothing to do with the coach.
Yeah.
Although, I don't understand some of the rotations. Regardless, it seems like it wasn't Fizdale doing it because the new interim coach isn't doing any better, but the rotations are whack. Mitchell Robinson, for instance, should be playing a lot more. I don't understand why Taj Gibson is starting over him. Obviously, Taj is starting at the 4, I think. But it makes sense to give all the young guys all the run that you can possibly give them right now.
Like R.J. Barrett. He's your high pick, right? They're letting him do his thing.
He is playing a lot, though.
Yeah.
He's playing a lot. He's, guy can't shoot the ball. I mean, he can shoot the ball, but
he shoots a lot.
Field goal percentage is no bueno. But the rotations, I think, need to change. I think you need to get these younger guys, especially the ones that are coming off the bench, more time. I guess I'm really just talking about Mitchell Robinson in particular. I just think he's a really good player. I think he's going to be an amazing player. Why not see everything you got? If it has something to do with load management, that would blow my mind.
Doesn't make sense for that team.
No.
They need to draft better. As simple as that.
Well, yeah. Dolan needs to sell the team. That's simple.
That's number one.
Simple as that. But that'll never happen.
It should.
It won't happen, though.
Yeah.
He loves that shit. He loves that team, and for some reason, at this point, he'll keep it in spite of everyone telling him to sell the team. So the more people tell him to sell the team, he's that guy. He's that guy that's like, oh, the more you tell me to sell it, the more I'm not going to sell it.
Yeah, I saw last year one fan gave him a lot of shit for like telling him to sell the team, and he said, "You're banned from Madison Square Garden now," just because he said that.
Shocker. That's James Dolan for you. So, like you said, starts at the top.
How about the GM though? That they got Steve Mills and Scott Perry. It's just they've never been able to evaluate talent.
No,
ever.
No. And I like Julius Randle. I think he's a good piece. R.J. Barrett obviously is going to be he's already a playmaker, but he's going to be an even better playmaker as he starts to figure out how to shoot the ball consistently. Because he's kind of up and down. But I mean, think about it. Him, Randle, Mitchell. They got Elfrid Payton now, who's coming off injury, but
he's bounced around a little bit.
He's a good player when he wants to be. Another guy who doesn't shoot the ball particularly well, but definitely knows how to dish the rock. So that's good. So Marcus Morris is a good piece too. A vet, leadership, can actually score. Probably the less volatile of the brothers, as opposed to his temper.
Yeah.
Markeith's definitely more of a temperamental kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I like him. I think they do have good players. That's the shitty part about this.
I don't think a coach can motivate that group of players to be that much better, though. Honestly, they need more. They don't have any stars.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
But they can't get any. Is the problem?
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's Dolan.
Yeah.
No one wants to play for that asshole.
They don't. And you would think New York. He thinks it's kind of like how the Lakers were for a while. It's just, the free agents will just show up because we're New York or we're LA.
Yeah. How'd that work out with Kevin Durant?
And Kyrie.
And Kyrie Irving. Didn't. So if there's the recruiting is not happening.
No.
Like I said before, the coach has nothing to do with it.
No.
It doesn't, at least at this point, because they've been cycling through coaches for the last.
Yeah. And as we always say, young teams don't win in the NBA. They just don't. They're not going to get very far. Look at Atlanta with Trae Young. He's putting up crazy numbers. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're like 18 games under 500 already.
They don't know anything about defense yet. It doesn't mean they don't play defense.
Right.
They just don't know how to defend pro level play. And if you've noticed, New York and Atlanta are two of the worst defensive teams in the league. Give up a ton of points. I love stacking DFS guys against those guys.
DFS daily fantasy, unless you guys didn't know that.
I love stacking against those guys, but I think the talent's there. Obviously not to supersede your point of they don't know how to find talent, but they do have some talented players. I don't think they're utilizing them the correct way.
No.
But I don't think that has anything to do with the coaching staff. I think Dolan's making those calls.
Right.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the guys at the top are the ones that are making those calls, which, is probably pretty common around the league. But let the coaches coach. Let the coaches do what they do. And
give them some talent to work with.
Yeah, James, when's the last time you played basketball, bud? Like, did you play? No, you didn't. So why should your say mean anything? It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Just sign the checks.
Right. The only good thing Phil Jackson did when he was there was draft Porzingis, right? Yeah. But they alienated him too, and he wanted out.
Yeah.
Even though he was hurt, but he was the best player they had in the last 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. So,
but you don't know what's going behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know who's trying to control who's telling what, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it seems like from the outside looking in, because that's how we all are with this team, that decisions are being made that are making people unhappy. And I hate to break it to you, those are the people you don't want to make unhappy.
Right.
Those are your players.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they need to figure out something, a way to turn that franchise around. But as long as, like you said, Dolan's there, it ain't gonna.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah. I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now that as long as he's there, they will never finish with a winning record.
Wow.
Ever again.
They might not.
Ever again.
They may not.
Give them all the first round, and that's the other thing with basketball. It's a lottery draft, okay? So
they're always in the lottery.
They're in the lottery, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the best guy. It's just not how it works.
They can't evaluate talent.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's an argument. A lot of teams can't evaluate talent.
Oh yeah, most of them are not great at it.
No, there's
a lot of first round misses
in every sport.
In every sport, There's a lot of sucker GMs that will take bad trades and give away their draft picks, and all the good GMs take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I give them a little bit of a leeway because you don't know how someone's going to develop.
No, a 19-year-old kid,
regardless of if it's basketball, baseball, football, or whatever, you just don't know how they're going to end up being for sure. Unless you're like LeBron and all these other guys that have
the
like
phenoms
ready talent.
Right.
But I think they can, if they get their shit together, they can make progress. But I think Dolan's holding everybody down.
Yeah.
And it's time for a change.
For sure.
Time for a change.
Yep.
Speaking of time for a change, ZionWilliamson. Let's talk about him.
This is Zion, and we are not afraid.
Yeah, I think it sucks that he's not playing, and unfortunately New Orleans has a bunch of nationally televised games, and he's not playing in any of them. So we get to watch the younger former Laker kids, Lonzo and Hart, and the now surprising Brandon Ingram, who's been playing well. But it's all for naught without Zion.
They suck too.
They suck too. A lot of bad teams in the NBA, man. It's not fun to watch those teams.
A lot of bad. It's you're really bad or you're really good.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Why can't I want to see more? I need to see the good teams more on TV.
So many blowouts. I mean, me and my brother noticed that the other day. There was, there's teams winning by 30, 40 points.
Shouldn't happen in the NBA.
Daily. Like that. It's like, what? Somebody figure it out. And it's not even tanking season yet.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's like, how are you losing by 40 points? And like, for instance, like the Bucks. I know we're getting a little off topic here, but the Bucks, Giannis is averaging like 23 minutes a game, 24 minutes a game.
Because he doesn't play the fourth?
He doesn't play the fourth quarter. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I know they're a really good team, arguably one of, if not the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I get that part, but, put up a fight. Why does anybody put up a fight? Well, I think it has a combination to do with these super teams mixed with poor talent, like they can't find the talent, they can't figure it out. You got a lot of bad management, and
you got young kids with a lot of money also. So
Yeah.
that once they get paid, there's no incentive. If you're not on a winning team, you cash it in.
yeah. Well, yeah. But Zion, I'm excited for him. I was excited for him at the beginning, kind of bummed, but everyone knew this was going to happen. Everybody knew his knees were going to start giving out. It's just a bummer that's already happening.
I know.
He hasn't even played yet.
Yeah, and in summer league he looked good too.
Yeah.
So we got a little taste of like, oh wow, this kid could be something.
He looks good. I mean, or when he was playing,
moving
he looked
well.
good. But the fact that he's already having knee issues is not a good sign. Specifically because this is what he does. He's a dunker. I mean, he can shoot.
He has a power game, right?
But
Above
he's
the rim.
Definitely above the rim kind of guy. And I don't want to risk. I don't want to see injury from anybody. But it just sounds like he's not gonna last.
Right. They were relating him to like Sean Kemp style. But Sean Kemp had a long career before he started getting hurt back in the 90s, and before he went to Portland, he had to run with Seattle with Peyton and all them. But
Yeah.
do you think it's a weight issue?
It could be. It could be. But I think it has a combination to do with his weight and his game. So, yeah, he might be a little overweight, or maybe he's just too big for his style. So he needs to figure out ways to shoot the ball probably and post up, maybe drop hook shots and things of that nature. But remember, he's young. He's got a lot to learn. That's the other thing too, is he's got so much time to develop right now.
It's not a bad thing to sit out your first year. We've seen other guys do it because of injury, like Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, I think Embiid, of course, all the process.
Ben Simmons
in Philly.
is still a rookie, by the way.
He still got rookie of the year,
Still
4 years in.
Yeah, still a rookie.
Yeah. But I think sometimes it does help, guys. You get a year of being around the NBA lifestyle. You get to travel with the team. You get NBA level coaching. You get all that in the first year, and you learn the league. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but are we concerned a little bit about him? I would say yes.
Concerning is I think the key word here. It's just kind of we've all watched this game long enough to know how this works. I think the only silver lining here is medical science has made some huge leaps since, say, Sean Kemp, for instance. And we can only hope that whatever operations he's had done, what kind of rehab he's doing, is more up to date and can preserve him for as long as possible. But we won't know. No one's going to know.
Yeah, we won't know. And he may never play 82 games in the season.
His knee could explode.
It could.
We've
He's
been
that
watching
powerful.
legs break straight through skin for the last couple of years now. It's ridiculous.
Right. He's a linebacker, playing small forward, but
he sounds like this.
So far I'm impressed with him. He's been humble through the whole draft process, even when he was at Duke, getting all the hype, still stayed grounded. I'm impressed with him so far as a guy. Now we'll see what kind of NBA player he is, but
yeah, and I think the other thing that's good is kind of where you come from in college. Playing for Mike is huge at Duke, so I think he knows how to mature some of these players a lot better than some of the other coaches do too. But
for sure,
when you play for those guys, it helps you kind of speed the process up.
When you play at Duke, you're already getting exposure like NBA.
He seemed like a humble guy at Duke already.
Yeah,
but I'm anxious. I'm anxious to see what he's going to do. I just don't want his legs to blow up.
Right. I don't know if he's 280, but if he is, or 260, he's up there.
How tall is he?
I think he's only like 6'5", 6'6", maybe. He's kind of undersized, but his athleticism is able to take him.
So when he comes back, does he play the 4? Does he play the 3?
In this NBA, maybe the 4. I don't know.
6'5", 4? That's pretty short, isn't it?
Yeah. But he's not really. Have you seen him shoot? He's not really an outside player.
No.
He's going to be inside banging with the big dudes.
I mean, he has somewhat of a mid-range game, no?
A little bit. Not much.
No?
It's not. I don't know.
Well, you would hope it's getting better here. You would hope that's what he's doing right now is working on his conditioning and strengthening and rehabbing, and then his shot.
That brings me back to like the comparison to Blake Griffin too. Came in the league, could not shoot to save his life, right? Big dunker, a lot of power, and he got hurt right away. So there may be some comparisons there. But Blake has learned how to shoot over the years. But Zion hopefully is more impactful than Blake is, I would think. I think he'll be.
See, you just saying that right now, and I know Blake hasn't really done much. I don't see it. Like, I just don't.
You don't see Zion.
I mean, I
being
do
a guy.
see it, but it's concerning with what's going on with him right now. I just have a hard time imagining right now that he's even going to get up to Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's not even that great. You know what I mean?
So not anymore, but he learned how to develop his game.
Right, but I'm saying like he won't even get up that high if he's going at this pace. If he's having surgery on his knees.
He's had too many knee issues.
And his weight, like if he gets his weight down, it's probably going to help. But, I can only hope for the best for him because I want him to succeed.
I do too.
Really
I'll
do.
say this. I think we should maybe be more patient. Year one, like I said, other guys have missed year one and come back and been fine. So let's maybe, if he's out year two and having issues still, then maybe we worry about it. But until then, I hope the kid gets better and hopefully he's flying high soon.
We're rooting for you, Zion.
Go Pels.
You know what really grinds my gears? You!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for what's grinding our gears today. And guess who it is? It's the Patriots.
Too easy.
Way too easy. So, as probably most of you know, the Patriots are in hot water yet again. Got caught videotaping the Bengals sideline. That's just, standard operating procedure for them at this point. So another day at the office.
They can't help themselves.
And this is actually a pretty easy topic for us because, I don't know about you. I fucking hate the Patriots.
I do too.
So this only makes me hate them more.
Yeah.
I think everyone that doesn't live in, the Massachusetts area probably hates them.
Yeah. They're tired of them winning.
I think, we can really get into it. But do you think the more and more this happens, it just completely tarnishes everything that they do, everything that they've achieved by this point? Tom Brady's legacy, Bill Belichick's legacy, Robert Kraft's legacy, if you want to call it that.
I do think I think a little bit it has to play because they're the only ones getting caught for this. Other teams they could say are doing this, but no one else is getting caught deflating balls.
They're the most careless.
They're the most careless, or they think. I think Belichick does think he's above the league now. I think he can do whatever he wants, and no matter what happens, he's not going to get fired. He's got enough Super Bowls, and he can do whatever he wants.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's coming from Belichick? Do you think it's coming from Kraft?
It's
or do you think it's coming from both?
I don't think Kraft has anything to do with this,
Really?
honestly. Kraft's not a football guy,
Too busy getting handies?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is all Belichick. But I like to give praise to Belichick, as you know, a lot, and downgrade Brady a little bit because of how well the team is every year. Well they do every single year. And the year Brady didn't play, they went 11-5. So don't tell me it's just Brady.
Right.
He's got a lot of help. The defense is unreal this year. So I think it's a lot of Belichick.
The defense has been carrying him this year.
Right,
Look
exactly.
at Tom Brady's stats.
Tom Brady
They're not very good.
Didn't make the Pro Bowl this year.
Not
and they're
very good.
11-3 still. So, yeah. But back to your question. I do think it's just another example of the Patriots bending the rules.
Well, seeing what they can get away with, more or less. I mean, I know they came out and basically said, "Oh no, we got approved to video shoot for some stupid segment." What is that show called?
Do your job.
Do your job. Yeah, do your job. And I think that's just a front, to be honest with you.
Is videotaping the Bengals sideline doing your job?
I love how they play dumb too. They're just like, "Oh yeah, no, we didn't even realize what we were doing." Like, bullshit. You guys have cheated so much and been caught. I feel like you should know better than any other team in the league. So that doesn't fly with me. The other problem, though, is, how close is Kraft and Belichick to Roger Goodell? So I hate to drop the word corruption or anything like that because I always hope that everything's all good in that area. But, Roger Goodell is kind of a slimy guy too. So, are they getting away with something here? Is he going to let them get away with something here? You never know. Of course, during Spygate, if you remember, when they were filming practices, they did get hit with pretty severe punishments. I think
huge fine.
Belichick got a $500,000 fine. I think Kraft got something similar to that. They lost draft picks. So that was a pretty good fine levied again. They couldn't do anything else. I feel like the league's hands were tied anyway.
Right.
So they had to do something.
How about Deflategate?
Well, Deflategate.
Brady's got suspended 4 games.
Right. Deflategate's kind of a tricky one too. It's hard to prove. I think that's a lot harder to prove than Spygate and I guess Spygate 2, if you want to call it that. This new one.
Right.
Obviously, they somewhat had to prove it to suspend people, but it's kind of a. If I were the Patriots, I'd deny that to the grave. Deflategate, yeah.
But Brady had text messages to the deflator, and he smashed his cell phone before they got to investigation. Tell me he's not doing something. I did not
hear that
wrong.
part.
Oh, yeah.
I did not hear that part.
He had text messages to the quote-unquote deflator on what to do, and apparently it was a lot of info on that. So he broke his cell phone, and all of a sudden can't find it.
I did not know all that, so I am sorry.
I did not know that, so I am sorry. Yeah, that came up.
I mean, okay. Well, all in all, none of this behavior surprises me at this point because this is what they do.
Right. But everyone always comes back to, well, it doesn't affect the game that much. Everyone's doing it, or they're just that good. It doesn't really matter. Because some people will point to the game they got caught for deflating footballs at halftime. Mm-hmm. The second half, they blew the Colts out like beyond.
Sure.
So they're going to say, it doesn't make that big a difference. And every quarterback does it. It's just, why them all the time? That's the question.
Rules are rules. Okay. Doesn't matter what happens, when and where and how. It's literally, if there's a rule and you break it, it's over and done with. Conversation's over. So, they know, especially after Spygate, they know they can't film the sidelines. Like, I love how too, like all the upper guys, Robert Kraft and those kinds of people below him and Belichick, they're like, we don't associate basically ourselves with this camera crew. And it's like, sorry, but whether or not you knew, you're all guilty by association. It's your employees. Those are your people. They're your responsibility. They are your responsibility in the sense that they should be taught and they should know, and you should make it known to them that they can't do certain things. So if that's the case, they look even worse, in my opinion. In my opinion, if you really didn't know who these people were or what they were doing, that's even worse because that's terrible management.
Well, you're doing a documentary on the Patriots, right? So they know you're filming things,
absolutely.
Right? So for you to take time out, and did you hear the audio of the guy saying, well, we can just delete it?
Yeah. That's when the Bengal guy came in?
Yeah, the security guard.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Hearing that, it almost is like, oh, we'll just delete it. But they were doing it on purpose. It's hard to believe they weren't filming the Bengal sideline.
But at this point, it's like the boy who cried wolf. You can't believe them at all.
You can't.
No matter what they do or say.
Even if they're right now.
It's
too much track record.
It's too much. And it sucks though because, people always bring this stuff up with the Patriots every once in a while. It's weird. You'll go through a time period where no one says anything at all about Spygate and Deflategate and all those other things. And then they'll go through a time period where people can't stop talking about it.
Yeah. So
I think it's all relative on how the Patriots are doing at that point in time. Like if the Patriots, for instance, don't go deep in the playoffs and, they say they get knocked out first game of playoffs, I don't think we'll ever hear about this shit again for a long time, for a little while.
Probably not, but if they won the Super Bowl, they'll bring it up.
We hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's how the world works.
But this is my thing, though. Why were you filming the Bengals of all teams?
Yeah,
you're 11-3.
I think they're the worst team in the league, aren't they? They're getting the first.
They're trying to tank.
Yeah, they're tanking. So, well, that's what their defense is. Their defense is why would we be filming the Bengals?
Yeah.
Well, I still don't buy that shit. I don't buy it, and I just don't like cheaters.
I don't either. When you start, like we talked about, if you remember episode 1, we talked about the Houston Astros.
Oh, that's right.
Same type of scandal. You're not just stealing signs. You're manipulating the game.
Did you notice that these teams we're talking about are all championship teams, by the way?
So funny how they got so far with all that cheating.
This conversation wouldn't be as exciting if it was, say, the Bengals getting caught doing this.
Because their cheating isn't working.
Because they stink.
And I hate, here's talking about grinding my gears. There is one phrase that I can't stand in sports. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I hate that phrase because to me, especially during my career playing baseball, I wasn't cheating and I was trying very hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that because then it's like, oh, so you have to cheat to compete? That's bullshit. I don't like that.
No, it's complete bullshit. Cheating is bullshit in anything.
You're admitting you're not good enough to win on your own.
If you were playing poker in the Wild West in the 1800s and you cheated, they'd kill you. They would shoot you on sight. Can we go back to that?
So you were trying to take Belichick out to the woodshed?
I mean, hey.
We're on to Cincinnati.
I wouldn't miss him. I'm sorry, Bill. I wouldn't miss you at all. I wouldn't miss any of the Patriots at this point. So,
Yeah, I've had about enough of them anyway.
Yeah, I'm so tired of them.
Yeah.
They're like the Lakers. What?
Easy. At least we were down for 6 years before this year. Patriots don't go away. And they play in the easiest division, as we've mentioned. It's an easy road to the playoffs.
Their fans are the worst.
Fans are the worst. The city, the last 20 years, honestly, the city of Boston, how many championships have they won? It's crazy. They've been the title town for the last 20 years. I hate to admit it, but they have. Only
Well, and that, you know what? That doesn't bother me. That part doesn't bother me.
no, but
very
they've won
much.
enough.
What I mean by the fans is, like we said at the very beginning of this conversation, most of the fans are condensed to that area. But I mean, you'll run into Patriot fans out here on the West Coast. You know what I mean? And you're just like, are you from Boston? They're like, no, I just really like the Patriots, and I love Tom Brady and all this shit. And you're like, what? The biggest bandwagon fans in football are Patriots fans. It's like the Yankees and the Red Sox. You know what I mean? We have Yankees and Red Sox fans out here from people that never even been to Boston or New York.
Right.
Okay. I have a problem with that. That's a whole other topic. We won't get too far into that, but I understand rooting for teams, and I even get rooting for good teams. I don't have a problem with that. Have fun. Root for good teams, root for good sports, whatever. But it irks me. It grinds my gears when, all these people jump on these elite team bandwagons. You want to jump on a team? Jump on the Bengals bandwagon. Jump on the Browns bandwagon.
Yeah, but that's no fun for people.
Oh, I know.
Who's going to put in the years to get a Browns or Bengals championship?
Well, you're not going to get one.
It ain't going to happen.
You'll be 6 feet under by the time that happens. But I like seeing the underdogs, and I think that's just so easy to just throw on a Patriots jersey and be like, I love the Patriots. It's like, well, you've already got a bunch of championships in the bag before you even put the jersey on. Like, it's like the Warriors. Warriors are the same thing. You know what I mean?
We'll see what happens when Belichick and Brady retire.
Well, I don't think Belichick's going anywhere. Brady's done. He got maybe one more year in him, maybe.
Yeah, he's definitely 42 years old.
Breeze is going to go farther. He looks good physically.
Have you seen Rivers lately?
Rivers. Philip, if you're listening to this, grab the clipboard. Grab it as fast as you can. I love you, but it's time.
Get in your motorhome with all your 8-9 kids and take a road trip.
Doggone it.
Do it. Do it. Come on.
Do it now.
Yes.
Do it now.
Anyway, yeah, back to the Patriots.
But like I said, it's too hard. I can't believe anything they say anymore. It's just everything that comes out of their mouth is shit to me now. So I guess I hate them even more now. Great.
I'm with you, man.
Great.
Let's just hope they don't win another Super Bowl. Well, that'll do it. Thanks again for listening. You can hit us up on email at the Below Stevo Show, no and on Instagram and YouTube at the Below and Stevo Show. We'd love to hear your comments and questions. We can definitely answer those in the next episode. And if you say something stupid, we'll crush you on the other side. Today's show brought to you by no one.
Oh, yeah.